the pro police crowd have been acting like the murder of Tyre Nichols is some new and rare phenomenon solely because the cops that killed him are black. And everybody in the black community knows that is BS, that black cops have been brutalizing black people as long as white cops have. Okay? And I think on some level, the pro-police crowd are aware of this. They feel that they simply feel that if they try to take race out of the equation, then people won't be heated or as heated. And they're just essentially throwing whatever they can at the wall to see what sticks, because they're desperate at this point. They're extremely desperate. They're exhausted. They have spent 10 years. I'm going back to 2013 of defending every police officer in existence. Okay. They've been defending every cop in existence for 10 long years, and they're exhausted. But on top of that, the anti-police crowd have been riding on and off for the past 10 years. Okay. In 2020, every city in the United States rioted because of something a cop did. Okay. And the pro-police crowd didn't have an answer for it. Very few of them went out and confronted protesters. Okay. So at that point, we had their backs against the wall, and they have started to give us inches. In this case, the Tyre Nichols case is them calling themselves giving us an inch. They're willing to throw black cops under the bus now to avoid a stain on policing. A few years ago, they would have defended these black cops to the death. But now they know that we're only a millisecond from another riot going down. That law enforcement is losing officers. They're trying to give us an inch by throwing black cops under the bus, and it's just not going to work. And they're coming with lame racist excuses like, oh, those black cops were hired to do the diversity quotas. Oh, they were hired because, we're losing police officers due to the defund the police movement. They lowered the standards. That's all BS. The Memphis Police Department has been mostly black since the 70s. There's no diversity quotas that is hiring them. And as for the lowering of the standards, what standards were lowered? Because all you need is a high school diploma to become a police officer. What standards did they lower to get these guys in the academy, or to give them a certification in law enforcement? What standards were lowered? Give me an answer. Now, if you want to talk about how some of these cops have criminal records, well, a lot of cops have been hired with criminal records for decades. Brandon Tatum, a median of color, who is a YouTuber who defends everything a police officer does and is beloved by the right. He had a criminal record before he became a cop. Daryl Gates, the chief of the LAPD and the creator of SWAT, had a criminal record before becoming a police officer. And he was born in 1926. So the hiring of police officers with criminal records is nothing new. And as far as the actions of the cops on the Tyre Nichols video, I don't see anything different from how police officers conduct themselves in the past. There's nothing about their conduct that is dissimilar from how police officers have been behaving for decades. There's nothing about, well, that was untrained, that was bad policing. What I'm seeing, what are you seeing that's different from how police have conducted themselves for decades, because I don't see no difference.